Hi.
Good.
Fuck it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the thing where we play Dungeons and Dragons. Except we don't today. Um, Today we are going to be recapping what has happened over the course of fucking over 2 years of D&D. Which is a lot of D&D. If you didn't know, we are currently on session 60, like 5.
Was last session, yes.
Last session was 65. Okay, yeah, damn, I'm good. I'm lying. I just read the notes. Um, but just talking about where the party has been, what they've done, how they've grown throughout the literal years. However, in game, less than literal years somehow. And yeah. So today we have with us, as you can see, we're a little light on hands. But you know what? It's okay because these are all the people who take notes. This is the one. I couldn't ask for a better outcome right now, honestly. But we have Taryn, Kalis, and Zelthar joining us. Do not be confused. Taryn is not Zelthar, and Zelthar is not now Taryn. I just have their icons mixed up on the screen. Oops. What are you gonna do about it?
Your character see it.
Oh shit.
Switch our characters.
But yeah. So I think a good place to start off is just a brief reintroduction to the party. I'll introduce the people who weren't here, and then we can have everyone tell us a bit about their characters as much as they'd like.
Can we put up the group shot?
Yeah, actually, I can put that up on the screen.
Because it's so pretty.
I actually need to re-download it because I don't have it on my PC. But
Why?
just to let me just I'll introduce the party real quick. So we through most of the adventure, this has been a wonderful 5-member party. However, for those of you who may have somehow, if you watched the first episode of this campaign, I don't know how the fuck you're here. But first off,
MVPs.
one of the original party members of this group was a interesting little tiefling named Rolthos. Due to player issues, he was not able to join us for very long, but he was like here for like a session, and then he came back for like another session. And he kind of just walked into a closet and disappeared, and nobody questioned it. Yeah, he was a tiefling. I don't know what class he was. Blood Hunter. Blood Hunter, I think.
I also don't remember he was a tiefling.
Was he a tiefling? Am I gaslighting myself?
I think he was.
I'm 90% sure
I
he
have
was a tiefling.
Dissipator Tiefling written down in my notes.
I don't know,
but I
because
did not remember that.
I was only here for the second session, so I didn't meet him until later.
Yes.
So I have no idea. I have zero notes for this.
But next up, sadly, he's not here. He's not able to join us at this moment, but he will be here in a bit, eventually, one day. Who knows? Fuck you, Ethan. We have Ethan, who plays Jung-un. Jung-un is a sweet, estranged young girl. Not young at all, actually.
Very tall.
Very tall. Around 7 foot and some change, wearing this sort of massive armor, has a huge shield. About as terrifying, and also an awesome arm because race is important. Because she's got like a fucking halo and shit. Yeah, a black halo. That's like that's totally fucking ominous.
Not at all.
I guess we're just gonna pretend that's chill, though.
Oh no! Did I break myself?
I don't know how to respond. I was gonna make a joke, but I couldn't think of one. But she hails from the Shadowfell, which is, not a great place to be from. She had this whole thing where she was supposed to be sent as, like, how would you say, like, to foretell, like, the future and, like, the end of the coming world, all that stuff. But, you don't think about that part too much, because, the world hasn't ended yet, so clearly.
Didn't tell us that shit.
Yeah, she did. That's what the whole thing with Father and all them were. She was one of the. That's why they were all, like, numbered and shit, or not numbered, but, like, yeah, no, it was the first, second, yeah. It was.
Maybe I forgot that particular detail.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote it down with a yikes next to it.
I see.
But yeah, she's great. Also, she's not a necrophiliac. I feel like I have to say that because I don't want to think of the alternative.
Legal reasons.
Yeah, legal reasons. She's a death cleric, raises undead minions, surrounds herself with them, literally and figuratively, especially when she sleeps. Yeah, I didn't forget that shit. And she's especially keen on a skeleton named Gabriel, who she had some close connection with when he was, not a skeleton. And yeah, that's the TLDR on Jungin. Ethan can fill in whatever the fuck he wants when he gets here. And lastly, of the people who aren't here, but certainly not least, we have Sparks, the party's wild magic sorcerer who, as I've said time and time again, manages to live up to the name even more than I expect them to, constantly.
Should we just, like, tell our backstories? Because we know everyone's except Terrence, basically.
You can just say, you don't have to say anything that isn't known. I'd put it that way. You don't gotta be like, well, when I was 6 years old, there was this tree. There was a squirrel in the tree.
Yeah.
And I watched a bird come.
If we're going into detail, we should probably, if we're doing the recap, we should probably go into a bit of detail.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, like, you don't have, if you don't feel like it should be revealed, like, don't reveal new shit. That's all I'm saying. If you don't want it to, like, be found out. Oh yeah, I just downloaded it. I'm just trying to get it done up on stream. But yeah. Hailing, he is a Tabaxi wild magic sorcerer, because that's important. Hailing from the southern area of Revedia, where many of the quote-unquote referred to as, like, beast tribe lives, where a lot of the more animalistic races live. You got your gnolls, your minotaurs, centaurs. Some Tabaxi are down there, sort of nestled in this area along the Emerald Lane. He comes from there. I don't remember if he said why he left, so I won't say that. But he spent some time studying under a prominent adventurer to help sort of gain control over his powers, and that was sort of the spawning of his. Oh wait, no, I can say that because that was literally a plot point. Under her tutelage, they endured some unfortunate circumstances where, because of their magical abilities, they were maybe attempted to be captured and hunted down and used for that sort of thing. Luckily, or unluckily for the people trying to do so, Sparks was very good at remembering his face. And eventually, in his attempts to flee, he found himself at the Bronze Flame. So with that, whoever the fuck wants to go next, really, don't, or you could be shy, or don't be shy.
Hold on, the friend, of course, was Laura Vey.
Yes, Laura Vey.
I think we know. I think it's okay to say how Sparks got his magic, because I know as a player, but I think we know in character as well. How he's a magic sorcerer?
I don't remember.
I don't even know if I remember. Let me think. I remember how his powers awakened. He told me. I remember he told me that. I don't remember if he knows where his powers came. Oh. You're talking about the, actually, you say what you're thinking before I talk, because that's the fucking easiest way to fuck something up.
Yeah, the, quote, this is a direct quote. Sparks walked into a spooky forest, and bad stuff happened, and made him a sorcerer. And it was implied to be like the Moving Wilds, or like a Feywild forest, bad, spooky forest place.
Explains his fear of the trees.
Yes, we'll go with that then. Yes, that is a sufficient answer for the time being. What are the Moving Wilds? We'll get into that because we're gonna end up explaining a lot of shit over the course of the next however many minutes this is. So if that's the case, I think whoever wants to take the floor next, feel free. And I'm about to throw up the image on screen for everyone who wants the let's see the full art for the characters.
Hey, Taryn, would you like to divulge your entire backstory?
Please. What is your deepest, darkest secret?
Okay. You can go first if you want. I'm trying to find my revised history. Shit. I think I have to go back to a conversation with Elijah.
Always been loud-mouthed. Why stop now?
There we go.
So, Kalis, Roke of the Moving Wilds, was a human boy in Revedia who, once upon a time, when he was very young, just nearly drowned in the river, but instead got swept away to the far shore where the Moving Wilds reside and wandered into the forest, got lost, and began to have a really terrible experience as he felt his body changing, growing fur, shifting, and
not your normal puberty.
Some amount of time later, it was sort of difficult to say in such a shifting realm. He encountered a sort of a sprite who befriended him. This sprite called Aelowin, who is roughly his age in, I guess, sprite years. And she took him to this Ent, who was sort of a warden figure, a sort of like a respected figure in the forest, named Gnarlheart. And over the course of many years, he trained Kalis, who was, had since become a sort of deerkin type visage. He trained him in how to become a forest queller, this sort of ancient order within the sort of Fey realm of people who try and like keep balance in the forest between just keep the peace between the progress of civilization and the forest, and to also sort of judiciously deal with ills and disease spreading in the forest, often by just putting it down and burying it at the base of the tree to sort of feed that tree. Oftentimes stewarding other like awakening trees that would become Ents in hundreds or thousands of years. But yeah, as he's told the party, in the sort of antecedent to this campaign, several months prior, there was a logging expedition to the Moving Wilds that became this. Where basically the shore, a community of awakening trees were cut down, and this quickly embroiled into sort of a attrition guerrilla war throughout the night, and however long this went through. And Kalis was blindsided by this, but ran through the forest to find his sort of mentor, and found Gnarlheart just brutally murdered. His sort of arm hacked off, roughly. And what he'd always taught Kalis was to sort of control himself and to sort of meter his fury and his grief as the people feel things rather strongly at times. But Kalis was especially distraught to discover that Gnarlheart had died with just this expression of rage etched on his sort of semi-immovable sort of wooden features as an end. And he took up his sort of fallen limb as a weapon and vowed revenge and vowed to protect the forest as a forest queller in its stead. Later learning in this campaign that the person who had killed Gnarlheart was the Lord of the Moving Wilds, not one of the human loggers or any human military people that were sent to protect the loggers. And sort of catching us up to the start of this campaign, Kalis embarked towards to join the Bronze Flame and compete as an adventurer to sort of raise awareness and sort of promote a sort of harmony, or at least a truce between the Fae and the mortals of the world. But yeah, that meandering thing is my backstory.
Yeah, so a really yoked Smokey the Bear. Also, the whole
I could have said it better
thing.
myself.
I like the grabbing of the limb because it works on 2 different levels, because it's like a tree limb and a... Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
God.
I'm obnoxious like that when I write things.
I had a slightly tangential, but a player or one of the other in the Curse of Strahd campaign, I guess they didn't realize that like tree branches could also be called limbs.
Really?
They just didn't know that.
A pile of limbs. Oh god.
Yeah, no, because we were doing Curse of Strahd and we're fighting the Gothias tree, which basically turns into a giant fucking blood ant.
Ooh, a blood ant. That's not good.
It's terrible. But before, when it was still a tree, like they thought it was already alive because he was talking about how you could see like the limbs writhing and moving, and it's like, oh, what the fuck? And it's like, no, these are the branches
Coming off of it.
But yeah,
people's vocab, man. Sometimes.
yeah, we're still giving her shit for that, and we're never going to stop.
That's funny.
All
Alright,
right.
we guess
We
got a road
you can't get out of this anymore, guys.
Well, one of you can get out of it for at least a little bit longer. The question is who. Nose
It's gonna be a
goes.
really, really entertaining stream if we just...
Damn, you know, you wasn't even close. You got blown out the fucking water. I'm so sorry.
Y'all, I'm the most shy person here. Why you gotta do this to me?
I don't have a reason. I just find it funny.
Yo, that's wonderful. Okay.
That's a reason.
to hurt you.
We're a great group, guys.
Alright. So, my character is a ranger from Queen's Landing. His name is Zelthar Velhorn. And basically, his backstory was he was like an elvish noble of one of the 3 prominent families in that area. His family's last name is the Rohorn family, and had much influence in the area. Zelthar was kind of bored up in that area, and it was a very sedentary lifestyle, and he wanted to go out and see the world and adventure and see things that are not part of his homeland for the 100 and something years he lived. I can never remember his age because he's an elf.
He's an elf.
Over 100.
They just round after a certain point.
I can never remember.
111, I think.
It like changes every time.
I have it written down.
The question is, does Zelthar know?
Right. After 100, you just guess at that point.
112.
112
I was close.
at that moment. 112 years of living there. So, during one of the festivals that were going on at the time, that was when he was going to plan his escape. So he packed up his things and then ran off. His sister actually stopped him or halted him from leaving, and he was like, and Zelthar said, I gotta see the world. The world is there's so much out there that I want to experience. And then his sister Shakrana just let him, it's like, okay, but take care of yourself or whatever in that sentiment. So Zelthar traveled down through city. Mind you, he's probably the most gullible character I've ever made, so he fell for all the schemes that are possible. Probably like getting lost. Elijah's writing stuff down. Uh-oh.
Don't worry about it. Do your thing.
That too.
I'm writing it for me, not you.
Gotcha. So he probably got shafted in like 1,000 deals, paid like a lot of money for the potion of truth or whatever. All this stuff. But eventually, through bumps on the road, he made his way down to Revedia, and then he saw the Adventurers League, or the Bronze Flame, rather. Wrong Adventuring Guild. And he decided it's time to adventure, it's time to see the world, and he decided to join up. Definitely overdressed because he was from the north, and everybody's like, why are you wearing that heavy coat? It's like, I don't know what they say for temperature down there, but basically summer degrees. Also very shy at the beginning. I think I said like 10 words in 10 sessions at that time, because that might be a player thing, not a character thing, because I was shy too, but yeah, but he definitely opened up, which is character growth right there, just this much, but
Still working on hugs though.
oh, for sure. Hugs are not his thing.
I think he's traumatized against hugs forever.
Absolutely. But yeah.
So for the record, I have it written down that you're 132 years old. So
Ooh.
what's a couple decades?
It's... Who fucking knows?
It's like an unreliable narrator thing. Like Zelthar doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Like what? Do they have calendars up in Alaska? No.
Yes. They definitely have calendars in Alaska.
No, it doesn't exist.
We have the moon and tally
Never
marks,
happened.
that's all.
The moon is a calendar. What?
Well, sometimes you miscount. You know, they just didn't know about leap years, or like leap days, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So over time, you know, you live a couple hundred years, really mixes things up.
Oh yeah, that adds up every 4 years. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I suppose it's me now, huh?
I mean, unless someone else is gonna go again, it's gotta be.
That's okay.
Procrastinating her backstory as always.
Well, you know.
It's in character.
Sorry, I suck at notes. Those goats, not this good. It's Squid Game. Go ahead.
So, Taryn Marrowleaf is from a little bit outside the city of Revedia. The city's Revedia, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I can be confused sometimes. But yes, the city is Revedia.
Okay, good. I was like, I doubted myself there. But she's not from the city. She's from some of the farmland outside of the city. Grew up with a couple of younger siblings. Recently got coerced into saying this bit of her backstory. Bullied is a better word, into saying it by Sparks, certain members of the party, including Sparks and Kalis. Were you there for that? Was it the...
I had to leave partway through, but yeah.
I knew it was one of you guys. That's right. It was Zelthar and Sparks ganging up on Taryn. Pretty much, she grew up being told that she needed to protect her younger sister, who exhibited some very special attributes and characteristics. And so that's what she did. She trained to protect her sister, and protect her she did, and perhaps she protected her a little bit too much. Violently. Other people, not her sister. So, her sister did not care for this, and they parted on some very rocky ground, which Taryn then made even rockier on her own because she's a great person and has not seen her sister since, except in a recent-ish vision. Which kind of solidified just how much she fucked up. And she is really trying to make it up to her sister somehow, even if her sister never even knows that she tried to make it up or like fix things. She just wants to kind of repent in her own heart, I guess, and make things as right as she can, which she doesn't always know is possible, especially after the vision she saw in that underwater temple. It's where I can't remember the name of it.
They didn't have one.
Oh,
or you guys never learned the name of it.
That's why I can't remember it, because if we didn't know the name.
I mean, hey, yeah.
And after she and her sister parted ways, then she made her way to the city and was recruited by an individual named Baron there that we have all encountered before. He recruited her to do some work because of her particular skill set, which is murdering very stealthily. And then she joined the Bronze Flame.
It's, honestly, in many cases, though, it's quite better than murdering loudly, at least.
Most cases, it's better than murdering loudly. Unless you want to intimidate somebody, then you can murder them loudly.
But murdering people quietly can also be very intimidating. That's
very true, especially if you do it very, very quietly.
Yeah. I played the Batman games. He don't kill them, but damn, he scared the shit out of them. But just to touch on a few things.
The body drops in the forest and no one's around to hear it. Is that person really dead?
Yeah.
But are they? Think about it.
Well, actually, you said a body dropped, so they probably just like tripped or some shit.
They just fell.
Wait, but if no one's around to hear it, that means that if they can't hear it, that means they must be dead. Or maybe they're deaf and they tripped.
That's true. That's true. I catch 22 myself. I like this one always tells the truth, and this one always tells lies.
Mm-hmm.
I got myself.
I saw this hilarious Reddit post, and I have to steal this eventually, where it's like one of those, and it's like, well, one of the guards is like, one of us tells the truth, and the other one always lies, Clarence. Just like really passive aggressively. I was in my head. I made up a whole fucking bit for like 10 minutes of like these two random people arguing over each other, and then I remembered why. I have so many things going on in my life that it explained a lot. But just to touch on a few things, because there's a lot of names and places and things thrown out there, and I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty much fucking gibberish if you don't know what it is. And in some cases, you can know what it is, and it's still kind of gibberish. So just to touch on a few things, some places we heard talked about. Let's start with the Moving Wilds, because that's what I wrote down first. That's what I was writing. It wasn't anything ominous or some shit. Maybe it was.
Do we have a map to throw up?
I can throw up the... It's gonna look... Will it look jank? It'll probably look a little bit jank. You know what? It looks good fucking enough. This is the map of the land known as Revedia. This is where the campaign is take place, and it is a quote-unquote homebrew creation that I've been working on over the years. I say quote-unquote because I like to steal shit all the time. Before, my original plan for Revedia was literally just Waterdeep. Just Waterdeep Dragon, but then I changed some things over time, threw in some new locations, and now I just stick to small stuff like stealing encounters. So the first location I want to touch on is an area known as the Moving Wilds, which we had heard Kalis talk about. This Moving Wilds is a rather interesting locale in the continent. You could probably tell by its name. It's not just called like the Green Forest or some shit. It's got a special name. That means it does something. And what does it do? Well, what the name's Moving Wilds. You should be able to put two together. Moving Wilds is a large forest that has traveled the lands throughout Revedia over many, many centuries, sort of springing up in different locations throughout the realm, known to have these strong connections to the Feywild, as you know from Kalis himself, and his whole, existence. It's home to many of the Fey folk of the continent. As was mentioned, it is ruled, as far as is known, at least by the Lord of the Wild. I believe that was, that's what you guys know him as. However, rulers
he's
like...
an archfey.
Yes, he's an archfey. But ruled with, like, air quotes. It's like, he doesn't seem to... At least he doesn't seem to make his appearance known to everyone who pops in there. However, many people who do go in don't exactly come out, so I guess that says something as well. But as it's traveled throughout the land, the Moving Wilds is sort of nourished the lands of the continent, leaving many places where it once was filled with this arcane energy and the still traces of the Fey presence from the places where it once was. It currently resides just a bit of ways east of Revedia, the capital city of the land of Revedia, and that causes just about as many problems as you think it does, and then a few more. Some of which were gloriously highlighted by the backstory of our dear Kalis. And it's basically this large wooded area with many, many more mysteries yet to be unraveled. And hopefully, you stick around, maybe you'll find out a few of them. So, the other half of this coin, since there is, I guess, say a significant... There's maybe some conflict between the humans and the humanoids of Revedia and the Moving Wilds. Let's introduce Revedia real quick, because that seems kind of important. And of course, anyone, if you feel free to just interrupt me or say some shit if you feel like it's relevant. I don't have to go on like a speech or anything like that. I'm just talking, because go ahead.
I'm not on the stream anymore. I rolled so high I vanished.
Oh my fucking... Yeah, it's because... Honestly, I had the other overlay ready, and I was like, where can I put the map up? And I was like, this is easy, but none of this shit is set up at all.
Okay. I was like, oh, I guess I did the rogue thing.
I can bump, let me see. Fuck, it only take a second.
You guys are on the screen to the right, to the left, so my pass without a trace covers y'all, so...
Oh my fuck.
That helps.
It's gonna look a little janky, but you know what? That's, like, in character. Or for me, at least.
Yeah, like, I don't even have an icon up there.
Yeah, it's because it's just set up how it was last week when we were playing.
Gotcha.
Oh no, has it been like that the whole time?
No, I was using another overlay that I had made for today, or set up for today. But since I wanted to show the map, I just said fuck it and swapped it.
Ethan's here too, now.
Ethan's here?
Well, he will be soon.
Oh, that's okay. Whenever he gets here, then. I'm gonna fix it again. You fucking dickweed. Whatever.
I'm just a voice from the ether. I can be the narrator for now. Though I don't know everything, so I can't narrate.
It's okay. As long as you think you know everything, it's good enough. That's what I do. But yeah. So while I get that settled on, let's talk about the city of Revedia itself.
Just one question also.
What's up?
Is it like the capital of a nation? Is the whole Revedia a nation? Or are they like city-states?
So, the continent of Revedia is a quote-unquote, what's the word? I'm gonna Google it so I don't sound stupid. Give me 1 second.
No, we just recently found out a lot of crazy wild shit about Revedia. So, with our good friend Dazan? Yes. Dazan. His name right. But that's really far ahead from the beginning of the campaign.
Okay. So, I think while it's referred to as the nation of Revedia, it's generally not so much referred to that way outside of Reveed itself. It's definitely more akin to something like Confederation, where many of the prominent city-states that exist have sort of worked together because they realized that the whole warring thing they did in the past was rather inconvenient to their mutual survival, especially with the lands being as dangerous as they can be. The main ones, I guess, this is important. I'll say this because I think this is something that most of you actually should probably know. Well, those of you, I guess, Kalis wouldn't know. But fuck it. As a player, you should know this. Oh, and the camera's froze because I'm stupid. I have to fix. There we go. They're unfrozen. It's kind of like I think Confederation or something like that is like the better way to put it, where these large city-states control these kind of vast swaths of land, and under each of them, where they have the smaller villages which sort of answer to them. However, just this group of them is led by the city Reveed itself, due to it being the most powerful when it comes to sort of technological sense, when it comes to like arcane abilities.
Magic.
Magic basically. They're cracked the fuck out. But we can talk about a few of the prominent cities. Rivenridge is another one of these cities who resides along the northern area. Much of the area they control probably like... Okay. I wrote that. I have never actually said this out loud, so it's very weird explaining it. Because I remember I had this conversation with Asaru a while ago because he was running a campaign in the world. And he was like, hey, how does all this stuff work? And I was like... Oh yeah, I know how this works. Give me just 1 second. But
time to fix that mortise again.
Hey, it's okay. Only turn your camera back on, dickhead.
You say Dickhide?
I tried to say dickhead, but I was gonna say dickweed, so I like got it all like mixed up. I've been saying dickweed a lot lately. I don't know why. I'm taking a liking to that one.
Dickhide is the younger brother of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
You can call him a Dickhyde now if you want to.
But
I'm about to demolish a burger, so now you guys will have to watch me demolish a burger.
Don't care. Didn't ask.
This is what the people came to see.
So, for example, a city-state like Rivenridge, which is one of the more prominent ones, would have several almost like vassal areas under it. So, like Adderfield, as you could see on the map, Ekron, Organiso, they would all like pay their tithes and stuff to a city like Rivenridge for things like protection. What's it called? Like guarantees for like things like trade, especially with Rivenridge, that city being a fairly good supplier for many of the settlements in the area, being situated on the river that has a name that I just don't know right now, because I don't fucking name rivers apparently, any of them. Really,
it's like a confederation between the major cities.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So the main cities that are part of this would be Revedia, Hearth's Edge, Rivenridge. Granite Den is part of it, however, they're a little bit different because they kind of don't care. They do mostly their own thing, however, for the sake of cooperation on some things, they work together. Kesterdale and Crimson View are also part of this. So Crimson View is a weird city. And you guys have been very distant from it for like the entire campaign, so it's not much you'd have learned. But one thing that you would know if you had sort of previous knowledge on Reveed is that there was a time where Reveed and Crimson View were very, very close when it came to alliances and partnerships, as Crimson View was known for raising or for like bringing up paladins and clerics of like extreme renown, like almost like powerful like divine soldiers and that sort of thing. But as sort of time went on and the specialties of Reveed sort of drifted more towards the arcane and Crimson View more still towards the divine, Rift began to grow and was sort of split in part with the overthrowing of Arcadum Revedia. I believe that was his name. Ooh, I might have to change that nowadays. Oof. I think that... Oh, no, it was Arcadian. Okay, thank God it's not Arcadum. That'd have been awkward. Because that's the one guy who got in all that trouble doing with the D&D stuff. Crimson View.
Just a question: are Queen's Landing and the Emerald Lane part of Revedia, the Empire or the Confederation, or are they like elves were over here?
Elves were over there. Leave them alone because they don't want to be fucked with mostly. There are some human settlements that go up there. So Hertz Edge like has their own area in there, and like Follow Forge is more like kind of like, what's the word? Almost like an outpost out there.
Right.
But it's still very far off from like most of civilization. So they're kind of basically Follow Forge is good for like a few things. One, if you get in a lot of trouble. Or two, if you really don't like people. So that's why people would generally go that far north if you weren't an elf, considering you're not part of the... You don't, like, if you have, like, a settlement out in Queen's Landing, you're generally not guaranteed the same protections as you would somewhere else from your city-state, because it's a lot harder to provide said stuff. But yeah, Crimson View, they take care of that, and that whole... Western... I don't know what the fuck to call that. What is that landmass? It's not a peninsula. That... The one to the left in this whole area. That's what I was talking about. I don't know what that is. But they basically control that whole area, and it's basically one of the last few sort of more lawless areas of, imagine that's a D&D Australia. That's where they get sent.
So the Spring Gulf region is all not incorporated?
Oh, and this whole area right here. But the Spring Gulf is just there, I guess. And the Crimson View is basically settled amongst this large mountain pass to monitor who goes in and out, basically. However, some people always make it out, because that's just part of how it goes. As piracy, banditry, all those things are very common in this area. So that's why it will never be seen on stream, but the Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign that I had that took place in this world is in this region.
So that would be a peninsula. It's got three sides.
Is it? Okay, I don't know, what's the, I don't know if there's like a peninsula limit, you know? Or if it became another name, I don't fucking know.
It's got water on three sides, it's a peninsula.
Alright, that's good enough for me.
If you look up Washington, the whole Olympic Peninsula is considered a peninsula, and it's like the size of Rhode Island.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, I have no idea what the fuck Washington looks like besides a vague rectangle shape.
That's not even close.
It's good enough.
I mean, it is.
I know Washington
rectangle,
DC is kind of like a square with a chunk missing out. It's good. It's close enough.
It's like a wheel, isn't it?
What? No. It's like it's like a square, but like this is like a chunk. I think it's at the Potomac.
Okay, the borders. I was thinking like.
I think you're thinking about the Beltway.
Plan.
Yeah.
The Beltway is kind of a circle-ish.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
But yeah.
Did you want to talk about the revolution?
Oh yeah, maybe it's a. Yeah, I should probably do that before locations. It's kind of relevant because it explains a bit. So where did the campaign take place, you may ask, or like when? So at the precipice, or pre-session 0, the world, or not the world, but more the lands, at least in the immediate vicinity, are in a bit of a mix-up, as due to a coup led by opening up one note.
Arian Vel?
Yes, Arian Vel, thank you. God, I haven't said that name in so long. To overthrow the previous, now previous, King of Reveed.
Arian Vel, who you may know as not being quite a cop.
as he took over the lands in where the fuck? I'm getting aggressive. I need to calm down. Don't mind me. I'm sorry.
Is it Vel or Bell?
Vel.
Vel.
Vel with a B. V.
Now it's correct.
Vel with the opposite of a B.
Mm-hmm. It's right next to it.
Okay, I was looking.
Yeah,
at the wrong
but
one.
if you reflect it over a horizontal or a vertical line in the center, it's translated.
Mouth.
Perform a negative to positive translation from quadrant 1 to quadrant 4.
But if you're Russian, it's both. Because the B is the B sound.
All right, I don't need to speak English. You can't be bringing other languages on me.
Oh.
I'm struggling as it was. I failed Spanish too.
Poor Elijah.
But the king of Revedia Reveed was deposed by Aryan Vel, and his group known. Oh yeah, no, never mind. I forgot. I was looking at the wrong notes. I was looking at the plot I originally wrote for the game that was scrapped because it made no fucking sense. But he and his folk deposed the king for reasons such as his transgressions against people of. The short story is he was kind of a racist piece of shit who was trying to. He was Andrew Jackson. Just to be as drastic, he was Andrew Jackson. And if you're not American, well,
not
you
quite
should
a
be.
cop description is aging rapidly well.
So you're against central banks?
Oy vey. No, I don't think that's the most notable thing from Andrew Jackson.
Yep, no tears here, I guess. But yeah.
He was on the $20 bill, and we don't talk about the rest.
Yeah, we just let him get away with that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
we just like, hey, just like I get it was funny. He beat people with canes and shit. And like it's kind of funny, right? I guess. Wait, didn't he march the army to like some newspaper guy's house because he shit talked his wife? He did something crazy.
They did a lot of that back in the day. Like the campaign between Adams and Jefferson was just like, I think Adams put out had a newspaper article around one time that Jefferson was dead, don't vote for him. So like they don't
No, but like when he was president, like someone called like his wife a whore in the newspaper, so he marched the army to the guy's house. To the standing army that Washington had at the time.
Oh my god, American politics. This explains so much about us.
It does. See, this is why history class is important. At least that's what I'm gonna keep saying, because it feels better than thinking that I just wasted all that time. Anyways. I had no idea where I was going with that, honestly. Oh yeah. The campaign took place 2 years after that event, where the lands are in a bit of turmoil as alliances and allegiances are still kind of mixed a bit. As many of the nobility and the upper class did fairly well among the previous leadership and didn't really see a need for any change, especially with this young upstart who had come in and taken things over, kind of and feeling threatened by it. However, the common folk, he pretty much became, he was in many areas viewed as like a hero, especially to those not of Reveed himself, as it was for what they could see a foreseeable end to many of the things that they had to suffer through over the years. And let's see, I guess that's the main important thing that started as, I don't think there was too much context going into the campaign outside of that. When it came to the world itself, if I remember correctly. But one very important thing we should probably talk about is the Bronze Flame. Because they're cool and all. The Bronze Flame is the most, while definitely not the only, the most renowned adventuring guild in not only the land of Reveed, but throughout the continent of Revedia, and well known for good or for bad things.
They're a pyramid scheme.
Isn't everything a pyramid scheme?
Where do they
in a
get
way?
all the gold? Where does it come from? Pay it all out, but none comes in.
Hey, no questions. But the Bronze Flame is a adventuring guild started by a group of adventurers long ago, led currently by I believe it is Joanna of the Light. It's tall, furbolg woman, kind of badass and shit. Who I believe I know she's a cleric. Does it matter who to? Did I write that down somewhere?
Yes, it does matter.
It's not to yours. Fucker. Yeah, I wrote this down. Where is this? Am I stupid? Yeah, don't answer that. Oh, Talisi. Oh god, that almost sounds like... Anyways. Which is not really relevant anymore, just another god in the mythos of Revedia. It's mostly the same if you're familiar with the Forgotten Realms, but I threw in a few things. She's basically the counterpart to Tiamat, a 5-headed metallic dragon that stands for, what's it called, law and balance. She was actually... Tiamat was originally supposed to be the campaign's main antagonist a long time ago, funnily enough. But things change. So
there's not been one dragon.
There's not been... Yes, there has. There's one. It was in the Shadowfell. You fought the Elder Shadow.
You said that wasn't a real dragon.
Okay, it was... Shut up. I'm being...
That we definitely do not need to go see right now.
I mean, yeah, we can make it happen. We've proven that.
No.
It's on the way back. From saving Zelda's father, of course.
Alrighty. So yes, the Bronze Flame is a very prominent adventuring guild that sends out emissaries throughout the land to help those in need. Founded by Joanna of the Light and one of the... Basically a long ago adventuring party, which I believe, if I remember correctly, Revedia was actually one of the members of this at one time, long ago. Along with a few other people that you guys have met throughout your adventures, as well as, well, not directly associated with, at one point, fuck it, I don't know if I've said this, Arianvel was also once a part of their original group. However, when he got into the politics stuff, due to their affiliations and due to their necessary duties, they decided that he would be doing so independent of them.
Knew that.
I believe you did, but I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't mean... If you guys can find a way in which it impacts everything, go for it.
Because of the Watchers thing.
Arianvel was part of the Bronze Flame or the Watchers?
The Bronze Flame. With the group of the original group who founded the Bronze Flame. Do I have any other... Let's see. You guys met Zuli. He was as well. He is a resident of Granite Den, or was a resident of Granite Den. As you guys had stayed with his family for like a brief period when you guys were there. Mm-hmm. Oh god, that fucking pipe. Just remember he called the pipe to burst in their fucking house. Huh. And being they have a rather large amount of prestige to their name, it's a quite desirable group to join, as many people would like to have that prestige out of the name, as well as the various benefits that one has with being a member, like words. What's it called? Access to words. Brain, think, thought. Access to powerful magical items, locations that you normally wouldn't be able to get to otherwise. A monthly salary.
If you
pretty
go back
cool. So you go back, you got a place to stay, as well as the sort of protection of a group powerful, such as the Bronze Flame and its many members. This sort of community has been built up over many decades and continues to thrive throughout the lands, doing what they can. Oh, what was my analogy for? It's like getting a badge. It's kind of like getting like a hunter's license if you've seen Hunter x Hunter. I think that was the best analogy I had for it at the time, where it gives you access.
You have a better one now?
What?
You have a better one now?
No.
Okay.
The time is still now.
I don't know. Have any promotion exams?
Yeah, because you guys are never fucking there.
True, we haven't been there in how long?
I mean, you guys
Teleported there
stopped
recently,
by.
but we didn't really bother.
We've been
Just did both stuff.
Yeah, we've been up in the north for a hot minute.
Like 15, 20 sessions.
Or a cold minute.
Definitely over 20 sessions.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
in
Need
this
days,
for a
though.
long ass time.
Almost a real year.
Yeah. But I guess with this, all right. I guess we'll just start recapping. Where is? Do I need to give any more context information on the lands? Nah, you'll figure shit out as things go
Just
along.
one more quick question.
Go for it.
The city of Revedia, does it consider the Confederation an empire? What does it think? What is their perspective?
So, the city of Revedia itself, they have very much like an all-encompassing view, where like they know that they pretty much consider like the continent, or at least many of the people, maybe not the common folk, but like those higher in authority, or at least used to just consider all the lands theirs. In some way or another. They had pretty much free reign to do what they'd wanted because there wasn't many people that were in a position to say otherwise, at least recently in history. So they have sort of like almost like a manifest destiny type worldview when it comes to, if you're familiar with American history, when it comes towards that type of thing. And it's a more archaic idea within like the city itself, but it's still quite prominent. I was thinking of an analogy, but I lost it. Is there anything like that? Because I feel like there's definitely some American thing I can compare that to besides Manifest Destiny that's happening now. But, you know, there's a lot of not great American things you can compare things to, so don't think about it.
Oh, I've got one. Why don't we talk about Israel? Does anyone want to? No? No takers?
I'm not going to say that Revedia is Israel. I'm not going to say it isn't.
Thanks for answering my question.
So yeah, let me open up the campaign notes because my memory's dog shit. This is 2 fucking years ago, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I remember like maybe half of last session. That's being generous.
Are your notes my notes document, or like our combined notes document?
Yeah, I don't take notes.
I mean, yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, when I say take notes, note that I am purely looking at the notes that Liz has taken over the years, and I cannot see Liz's notes, but I know that she also takes meticulous notes.
Take a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just watching your dog in the background. Dude,
Phoebe,
whatever.
what the fuck are you doing? Fucking on my bed. It was already fucked up. Now it's worse. Lay down.
Oh, what a good.
Fucking...
Oh. Also, inquiring minds wants to know if this is recorded or no.
Yeah. It's going to be automatically up on YouTube, because it's being live streamed there as well. It should. Fuck, did I ever set up the channel for the fucking link? I don't know. But the YouTube is just half baked. I can link it eventually at the end of the stream or something, and Twitch chat if they're there. But yeah, this will be up there, as well as cutting out all the parts of dead silence in that fucking 20-minute intro. But yeah. So let me reopen those notes that I thought I had open, but didn't, because I went to look at them and I realized that I was staring at nothing.
We begin in spring in the year of 1367.
I would say that
God.
would be important, but
That was awful.
That's cool. We get to talk about our sixth player.
yeah, I gave the Rolthos recap, and I guess 2 people found out that he was a tiefling.
I found out that he was a blood hunter.
I don't know if he was a blood hunter.
Oh right.
I
'Cause
don't know if he was
yeah,
a blood hunter. He was?
Well, I didn't know what his
he's a blood
class was,
hunter.
so I'm assuming he's a blood hunter.
He
That's
didn't
what
want
he's
to tell anyone for some reason.
Because he got like, our party just loves keeping secrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys do.
It's true.
Alright, you kept a pretty big fucking secret, bro.
Told my backstory to you guys. Don't harsh me.
What secret I was keeping? None.
Why are you on the material plane?
I'm so proud of you. Okay.
Oh right, yeah. That's right.
I'm here.
But I think it's fun that we all have a secret, though.
Yeah, we don't
It
like
makes
talking
it interesting.
about ourselves.
We're just a bunch of liars.
Well, I think only one of us.
And we like it.
So,
This fall, Revedia, Tales of Revedia.
I can't believe I lied to your face. Your character's face. That was funny.
Who
When
did
you
you?
were questioning me that one time because Barris like said something like, "What?"
oh yeah, because he recognized you because you don't know why he recognized you. Ooh,
No, I don't.
that's crazy, ain't it?
I'm just
Or
famous.
secrets.
No.
So,
I thought. Go ahead.
the tale begins, as Sean had wonderfully introduced, in the spring of the year 1367, which is kind of relevant, I guess, but something that kind of got glossed over time, as I need to recalculate whatever fucking day you guys are on. And by that, I mean I'm gonna guesstimate.
It's late May, early June, present times. I think we've gotten to. Don't focus
enough.
on it. Let's just
Good
keep
enough.
going. I'm gonna-
But the party had all convened in the city of Revedia. All strangers to one another, here for their own reasons. However, one thing they all had in common was a desire for entry into the Bronze Flame, with the exception of Taryn, because she wasn't here yet.
I was sent.
But, you know, Revedia, big capital city, largest city of the world, the city of magic. Imagine a very, like, almost like Eberron-esque nation, but with, like, what's the word? More colors. Where there's these heavy influences of magical and technological crossings. There's airships in the air. Much of the city is policed by things like Griffin Knights. There's restrictions against advanced magics in the city itself. Like, I don't think without your casting license, you can't cast spells over 7th level in the city, unless you have special permissions, as well as like other things like the registering of powerful magical items with certain associations, because we need. Apparently, it's important if a planar rift opens up on accident because someone fucked up. Because that's the kind of thing that happens. At least, okay, the planar rift thing only happens like once or twice a month, but like, well, maybe once. Okay. Anyways, but as they had all convened, they met up in this massive guild hall in which the Bronze Flame was stationed. And as this place is bustling with dozens of groups desiring entry into the guild, and many more sort of watching about as these new prospects enter. As they were sort of looking around to find people to make a suitable group with, they were assigned one. As choice is purely an illusion. as this ragtag bunch of group looks at each other and finds that they will at least be working together for this entrance exam, and it's explained to them that, well, it's not required. Generally, if you like each other, you're more than welcome to stick together or fly off solo on your own after you guys make it into the guild. But they much definitely encourage those traveling in groups, as they have way too many tales of solo adventures, and even more tales of, well, or either more of a lack of tales of people who went out by themselves because they thought they were cool, or they thought they were hot shit. So the test began with a rather simple task, as it was announced to them that the man who'd be proctoring their tests didn't show up. Which caused quite the conundrum, because usually when you go to take a test, you're expecting to be able to take it. And they were sent off on a sort of a goose chase to go after this man known, who they would later find out his name was Varus. It was Varus, yes. Varus, one of those. It's been a long oh wait, this one. He's actually in the journal for
Varus Araneth.
Yes, Varus. Thank you.
This is a good recap for me because I wasn't there the first session.
Yeah, Varus Araneth. I see him. There's an image of him up on screen, which I stole from the internet.
Stole? Yeah, don't steal from the internet.
Stop me.
Maybe get over there. I will.
It's still here.
You're streaming on Twitch right now. You didn't realize that, aren't you?
I know. I don't care.
They will.
No, they won't, because they have to watch.
Fair.
But as the party makes their way out to the forest to search for their proctor, little do they know the test has already begun. As one of the party members suddenly finds himself scooped up, quite literally, by this massive creature. Almost this bipedal gray anteater looking like thing, which the party set upon by a pack of them, and quickly grabbing their hands on, I believe it was Rolthos initially, carry him away as the party gives chase. I believe, I think he was the one that got snatched. But either way, someone got snatched as what's it called? As it actually ambushed Rolthos. Then you guys chased them down and you killed them. And eventually, as you were sort of following the trail of where it seemed these things had come from, you found a relatively young-looking elvish man sort of standing next to a cabin with this sort of large well next to it, out in the small clearing in the woods. As he sort of says, "Hey, you're here. Welcome." As he explained to you that was just simply the first part of your test, and that congratulations, you had all passed for the meantime, at the very least. Even though he pointed at Rolthos and said that he looked like shit because he kind of got fucked up by the things. So you guys were like level 2 at the time. Oh, we can't hear you, Sean, if you said something.
And they were Alluvian hunters, for the record.
Yeah, Alluvian hunters. They were these... Yes, they were creatures that... I believe he said that they were creatures that he had not brought in, but creatures that had come in through a rift in the Shadowfell that happened. Considering his specialization was finding and closing these rifts that appeared throughout the realm. Which is a cool way to say that he was a Horizon Walker Ranger.
What way isn't a cool way to say that?
He's a Horizon Walker Ranger. Or I don't know.
How do you not know?
It's so easy to not know. Ignorance is... You don't underestimate how easy it is to be ignorant about everything. I've gotten very good at it. So with this, he gave the party a brief moment to rest as he told them that the next part of their test would be coming up soon. As, the party found themselves looking upon him as they sort of got back up, and he pointed towards the well and said, "Get in." While quite perplexed by this, they didn't feel like they had much of a choice, considering he mentioned this explicitly being part of the next test. And as they sort of looked into the well with a sort of small light gleaming below the water surface, they jumped in. And this would be the first time a party member died, technically. As getting to the bottom of the well, it turned to be this labyrinth of a dungeon with these sort of switches and levers that would move the walls and sort of reshape the dungeon around them, filled with, traps, skeletons, a whole bunch of very unfortunate things. And it was in this place where almost the first real casualty taken was Sparks, as after I believe he failed a death save, and then after he went down, failed a death save, and then he crit failed his second one and passed out. And as he sort of felt the slow grip of death, he awoke outside of the well. He was like, "Yeah, it's clearly an illusion. Why the fuck would I kill you guys?" As Valrus is looking at him. From that point, as the party made their way through this sort of large maze, they made it to the center of the labyrinth, descended the stairs, and found this large, what's it called? Symbol of the bronze flame, and upon placing their hands against it, they were teleported back outside of the well, and it was pronounced that they had passed the this phase of the test. From this point, that was at least their ending of their meeting with Valrus for the time being, as they were brought back to the actual guild house of the Bronze Flame, and it was announced that between all of them, just only 4 other groups had passed the initial trial, and that's where we end off that session. This began the final trial, if I remember correctly. I believe, is this when Tara was introduced, or was she introduced after the trials? I don't remember.
I think it was in this because a unicorn was summoned, and that was the first time I met the unicorn because he saved my ass. And I was like, I'm gonna come find you and be your friend.
Yes, the Phoenix, yes, because I remember the fight.
No, the unicorn, not Phoenix.
Well, was the unicorn not during the Phoenix fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're fighting a Phoenix.
That's right, yeah.
So, as the few remaining groups had gathered themselves the next day, they were told the last event would be taking place at this massive coliseum, as they see droves and droves of people coming into the stands, sort of surrounding this area, to watch the spectacle of what would be the final travel of these several groups. Well, I'd be lying if I said I remembered what happened to all the other groups. I believe only one was successful amongst the remaining ones. So remember, the dwarves lost to the I don't remember what they lost to.
Insectoid snake is what I wrote down.
Yeah,
so...
it was a Remeraz. If I remember correctly. Yeah, and one group had passed with you guys, as well as you guys were sort of walked into the Coliseum, and before you release, as this white-hot or burning phoenix flew into the air as you guys engaged in combat.
Yeah,
you guys managed to put on a brilliant display, as you guys were successful in this final trial, and were successfully inducted as members of the Bronze Flame, given the... Go ahead.
Isn't this also where Sparks got cursed to be blue?
This was the first time, yes. Yes, Sparks is a black cat, but he hasn't been...
Be the last.
It would not be the last time. Yeah, Sparks has been blue for... Yeah, he's...
When the world was young.
As of right now, looking at the date of when this session happened, it's been 2 years and a month since Spark has been blue.
Wow. Since he's been black, you mean?
No. Well, yeah, since he's been black, yeah.
He has been blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, Kalis sort of played the crowd and told them not to set forest fires to attempt to pursue his goal, but that's all.
Yeah, and as you guys, in doing so, becoming sort of minor celebrities, at least for a small time in the city of Revedia, as you guys were sort of the highlight of another sort of action-packed day. You guys were inducted to the Bronze Flame. You were introduced to the quarters, which you were sort of granted in the guild hall as a place to stay. And you guys also decided to stay together for the time being because it'd be really awkward if you didn't. And that's like kind of one of the rules of D&D, is that you just kind of do that.
I don't like these guys. I want a different group.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's the thing. There's always... Sometimes there is that one player, too.
Yeah.
Like Rolthos? Oops. Did I say that out loud?
Yes.
Damn, did my boy like that.
Ow.
He was
Dirty.
trying to leave when we were at the ruins with Baron, and he was trying to sneak off, and I was like, where you going? And then he never came back.
Nope, he didn't. He just... I don't even know where he went, if I'm being honest. But yes. Oh, go ahead. Speak.
Oh, I was saying he could be the final boss or whatever.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Joking. Yeah.
Oh, no, no ideas.
Hey, shy person, speak.
No, I do that just so whenever, like, if I accidentally irk people a lot because I talk a lot, and I don't mean to, but sometimes, like, if people, like, they see it and I don't want to interrupt people because it's rude. So what I do is I make them speak. It's much.
I'm a white guy on a
effective.
podcast. Same.
But it works generally. Even if they're shy, they'll be like, "All right, you know, it's effective. See, you did it though. That's the thing."
Yeah.
And that way, you make sure to get your point across. And even if I don't know where I'm going with this, I'm gonna stop talking. So as we go, leading to the next session, the party was given a bit of a time for leeway. What the?
There were 3 quests presented to us.
Yeah, we got our first mission.
Yes.
3.
These disappearing hamlets on the outside of Griffin Keep
Mm-hmm.
that turn into ghost towns. The northern plains just south of Hearth's Edge were beset by Knoll raiders, and none of those mattered because we only did one quest for this entire campaign, which was that there were these kidnappings around a magic school in Riven Ridge.
In my defense, it's supposed to end a lot sooner than some shit happened.
I guess we completed this quest eventually, but like I guess it just has a thread that connects us to new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just full context, at least for players, because to people watching this who don't know, it makes 0 sense. That was like supposed to like stop there for a while after like that like whole thing like wrapped up. There's gonna be like a few like loose ends to keep things spicy, and then like you know what happened, and I was like, fuck, do I play this one off, huh?
Well, you did.
We did. But like I remember originally, I can say this because it's never gonna happen. Originally the way you were going to be introduced to sort of the whole Shadowfell storyline was through I had 2 ideas. One of them was going to be a chance encounter with Jung-Un's brother, the first, because he's been on the material plane for long before she was. And what was the other
Yeah,
one?
he was.
What's up?
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was. What was the other one? Fuck, it slipped me from me. Oh, that's still a thing. I can't say that. So, See, that's always my go-to. I don't actually have anything to say. I just say that like I can't say because it's plot relevant, and they think that it's something important, but really, I'm lying, or maybe I'm not lying. Who knows?
None of us. Ever. What are you
I don't
talking
even know. It's crazy. But
There's
yeah.
no secrets in this party ever. No one has any secrets.
But oh, I guess I did have the tab open. Okay, I'm dumb. From there, the party decided to take the first one, as these kidnappings from around the magic school in Riven Ridge, city-state, in the northern areas, or like the central northern area, Revedia. Let's see how. I'm trying to remember how you guys didn't teleport to Granadin then. You took a boat. That's what it was. I think you guys ferried there for the first.
On a motherfucking boat.
Yes. As you guys.
Yeah, we So we went around, I think Reveed, for a while, and we found Cassius, the Scanasi merchant with dreadlocks.
Cassius,
who's not tremendously important, but who had this elven letter under a rock that was found southeast of Riven Ridge. And the letter was written, "Send help, they're capturing more. They're stealing our magic." And it was given a byline from LAR in capitals.
Yes.
The letter also possessed a sketch of this tesseract-like cube in heat-revealing ink that we discovered. And we boarded the Far's Breath, captained by Larian, and departed for Riven Ridge. Sailed for about 15 days, I think.
Okay.
And the galleys was called Far's Breath.
Yes. That's what the notes say. I don't remember that, but that's what the notes say. I don't know why I called it.
Do you want to lead, or should we?
Hey,
get for length?
If you feel free to speak up, if you got something you want to add.
I don't know. I was just gonna go into we got ambushed by Sahagan raiders.
Go for it.
They dragged a crew member over the side, and then we killed them, and we sailed up the river Riven to Riven Ridge.
Hey, that one has a name.
During that fight, wasn't that the first time Sparks had like the bubble thing?
Oh yeah,
and,
that
like,
bubble
he was,
thing.
Yeah, on top of that one mast, and I was trying to climb up, and he was trying to say, "Don't come up here," but there was like so many bubbles coming out of.
Yeah,
Oh, he got silenced. He got muted.
Yeah.
I just want to point that.
Sparks canceled.
Got banned off Twitter.
Literally no more freedom of speech.
But yeah, and I think the only other thing was there was this weird foreshadowing where they were talking about how no one sails with the hard Revedia, only along the coasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was never addressed.
I wanna fucking go there. Oh my god.
Smile.
How big is the fish?
About 3. So they making their way over to Riven Ridge itself. It's a sort of stonework city known for its like sort of trading along these sort of many rivers and throughout the lands in this sort of broad hilly region. Let's see. Relevant things that happened there. Rolthos was back just for a day. Was that the ones? That was the one-shot session, essentially, where we had a few players missing. So as the players took some time, those there to explore Riven Ridge, I think it was Kalos, Rolthos,
not Terran. You weren't here.
Yeah, Terran was not there, and I know Jungin was there, and was very sad because almost everything was immune to necrotic damage that session.
Oh yeah.
It was a fitting session for her, though. So we found We stayed at the Hooked Whore Tavern. We found this lost cemetery. Sorry, excuse me. The
Home for the Lost.
cemetery of the Home for the Lost. I think there were just ghost stories about it that we heard, I think, at the tavern. And I just have written down Rolthos, the tiefling, was acting strangely.
That was normal, relatively. He's just... Yeah. And as the party decides to investigate the sort of weird happenings in the area, because, you know, when you're missing players, you do side shit sometimes. They, I believe, in, what's it called? An alley across the cemetery, what's it called? You all had encountered this sort of small child floating along with her two friends. And it was rather peculiar because she was dead, which isn't very common among children who are living. And eventually, as you guys sort of talked to her, she talked about not, like, sort of moving on. She had led you guys, or at least led Rolthos initially, back to the cemetery. And as you guys made it closer and closer to her grave, as she sort of almost hands held with Rolthos.
Her name was Millie, just for the record.
Oh, Millie? Oh, I thought I don't know if I said the name, my bad. But, her eyes turned pitch black, and she attempted to drag those of you around into the graves of the area. Succeeding as well, just to clarify. I believe Rolthos was fully submerged. I think he was the only one who was fully submerged, but some people got dragged down a bit.
And the next thing I've written is killed 3 ghost children.
Yes.
So that works somehow.
Magic. Well, yeah, I got nothing for you. But as this is going down, as eventually the fight ends, and you guys manage to excavate Rolthos from beneath the grave. You guys are sort of spotted by a few of the guards. They don't really see. Luckily, they weren't able to see the whole thing that happened. This is why you guys were actually by like the front of the area, and you're escorted back to the tavern. Bum bum bum. Oh shit! This was a big session, wasn't it? Let's see. Next session is when you guys began actually investigating the disappearances around the area, talking with various Okay. I'm trying to think of things that aren't really relevant because most of these names don't fucking matter at this point. But as you guys talk to the mayor, the city, Cornelius, who was pretty much a complete fucking tool, and decided you were best off talking to the head of the magic school himself. I believe, what is his name? Oh, Zorhan. I remember that. He's here. An elderly-looking elven man who sort of gave you the breakdown and the names of the various students who are missing, bit of some of their history, and oh wait, no, Laura wasn't part of that party. Laura was part of his. That's why I got mixed up. Laura wasn't part of the founding party, the Bronze Flame. It was at least introduced to you guys as you learned more about this LAR figure, that it was a figure from Sparks' past, the previous mentor who had been on the run with, and that the headmaster himself had personal connections to this woman, as they were once part of a party together with a few other characters. Found secret. How did you guys find a secret dungeon under a warehouse, under the dock warehouse? I believe that was like the last known location of a few people. But you guys did sort of, as you were exploring the city, looking for hints, you found this. Oh, it's no. The party place was in Ignoble Fall. God, there's so much fucking shit. Holy, there's so much to unpack.
The warehouse party was much later.
The warehouse party was much, much later, and let me tell you, it was wild.
Lit.
It was fucking Skrilla, no cap, on a stack. But you guys found this sort of secret dungeon underneath this warehouse, where there was these strange cells that were inhibiting, what's it called? The sort of magical abilities, while in them, as well as various other things. But somehow, some way, it seemed that they were aware of at least someone coming here. As you all managed to catch them as they were fleeing, as many of the prisoners had been taken to another point, and many of the things, important documents, had all been sort of either taken away or gotten rid of as you guys are arriving. But as you guys reach sort of the end of this area, you encountered a strange figure sort of dragging along this manacled figure with this sort of large bodyguard next to him. And I believe, yes, this was the first introduction of Althorn to the game. I don't think it was written here. But he was one of the figures who was originally hunting down Sparks and Laura.
And that was the bodyguard.
The bodyguard, yes. And in a surge of magic, I believe Sparks just straight up killed him in one fucking hit. It was like, he did something, and then also he got a wild magic sword and like the 5th level magic missile. And as the fight broke out, this man was immediately fucking destroyed. But the masked figure, with some strange apparatus, almost akin to the Tesseract-shaped object portrayed in the drawing that's in, press it into him. You all watched as the student, we presume student, sort of began to sort of shape and shift as this arcane energy flooded his body, transforming him into this horrific mass of sort of writhing tentacles and arcane energy. And the masked figure made his escape as he sort of dragged the body of the of his dead guardsman and slipped away through a portal. Dimension door. So from there, the party, keen to continue the chase after their encounter, defeating and sort of laying this poor soul to rest.
I think I did that, or maybe Jargon, but
I think
definitely important to my character in particular.
I remember at the very least he was buried. Like, he wasn't just left there.
Yeah.
But you guys were... Oh.
Usually a Jargon thing to do.
But...
Yeah, that's true.
Yay.
Finishing your investigation of the area, you're able to find a few things that'd be useful to your journeys. And a peculiar one, a lockbox containing one of the same devices that you had seen used on the man. What's it called? Let's see. Yeah, in continuing your investigation, you guys sort of got a map of the outlying area of Raven Ridge in order to figure out where to go next, where they could have possibly fled to. Because moving that many people very quickly is something that's kind of impractical based on how many cages you saw. So, you headed west to Organizo chase after them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my old notes are a little bit crunchy written.
No, you're good. I'm also trying to... It's not... Most of the stuttering is me trying to fill in the gaps in my own head, because... I don't have a great memory.
Yeah, I've got Adderfield, northernmost village, Organizo, next Dow. I don't know what I wrote there.
Well, because in the previous, like when we were in Riven Ridge, we heard there was these rumors of this sort of kidnapping. This bandit activity west of Riven Ridge was linked to this kidnapping guild. Was the rumor we heard.
Oh yeah.
So we were going out to Organiso to find the kidnapping bandits.
I think I overheard somebody. When did I get that weird person with the maggot sitting while I was doing watch? When was that?
That was right here. Yeah,
Yes.
I have it written down.
I think I
So
written down of similar kind, another among the group that waits for the father, it will be soon. Got that fucking creepy ass message, I think.
Oh, I didn't realize this was foreshadowed so early. I just took down a quote from him that said, like, "The other among you who sees our father," or something. But yeah, I think there's a greater context I missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there were folk that were wearing a purple band around their sleeves.
Yeah, that was how they were identifying each other.
Yeah, a tavern called the Third Coin. Oh, this is right before the mines.
Yep.
When
I wrote chicken chaos because I think we were doing like some chicken stuff in a bag of holding. And
Yeah,
it was
Sparks was buying a lot of
not
chickens.
great.
He was buying a lot of chickens.
he went through his chicken phase.
It's not a phase. He still buys chickens. He just doesn't tell y'all.
Oh god!
He just hasn't had a chance to in a while.
Simultaneously comforts me and disturbs me. I'm glad I know that now.
But yeah, we learned that there were some visitors getting too friendly with the townsfolk of Organiso, and that this mine to the north had been, these bandits had started squatting in it and watching the townsfolk in a way that made them, I think, nervous. After that, we headed towards the bandit-controlled mine in the north. We killed 8 and buried a Bargeist, in the forest there.
Oh no, let's be more specific about how it happened. I think that's important.
I do not remember.
So,
Wasn't there a lot of exploding going on?
the original plan was to sort of steal some of the uniforms and infiltrate the bandit cap as maybe like some new faces to investigate, make sure these were the people you were looking for and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, as you guys attempt to sneak up on them, Terran popped him, got him, real nice and solid. Who else?
Job.
No, that's what it was. As you guys are stuck up on the mine, Sparks recognized somebody. I see it right there. He recognized one of the bandits up on the wall as part of the group that tried to kidnap him before. And that's why you guys are going to try and kill those guys to at least get their armbands and infiltrate them. And then Sparks, I believe, casted mage armor and then fireballed himself and everyone around him. Including the group that was, including the group of bandits that were nearby in the area. Essentially incinerating them. They all died instantly, if I remember correctly.
And then we fought the rest of the bandits.
Yes.
And then he rolled, constant wild magic surge. It was just going off for a minute.
It wasn't even... No, he rolled it as soon after that happened, and once he saw the wild magic... He ran in as soon as the wild magic surge started, because you guys didn't actually fight anyone else outside of that yet. It was just that initial boom, and then Sparks, I believe... I don't remember what he casted. He did... I think he used his Tides of Chaos, and he got, like, the thing where it keeps going off, and he just ran off ahead of you guys all, as he was also turning giant during this time. And that's
a lot.
And that's when the infiltration turned into a siege. As the party immediately sets in, sort of making their way through the groups of bandits, trying to hold a defensive position, which was not successful over the period of time.
I think this was the only fight that Kalis has ever gone unconscious during.
Yeah, it was.
It might be, because I think this one I got just donked on completely.
Yeah, it was it was a close fight, because I distinctly remember we're like Jung-um, like, because this massive rock, like humanoid like rock creature like appeared, like sort of pulling itself outside the tunnel and engaged the party in combat. I remember at one point it knocked out Zelthar. No, it knocked out Jung-un, and then
I healed.
yeah, yeah. Then Zelthar ran up to heal Jung-un, and then he got knocked out.
Oh, was I still conscious at this point?
Yeah, you're the one who killed it.
Oh, maybe I'm just okay. Maybe this is just. I'm just remembering this being a very arduous fight, rather than. I don't know. Have I? I must have gone unconscious at some point. It must have been sometime, though.
And then I never went in melee range again. Unless I had to.
Or into a bottle.
You're just shy, you know.
Yeah.
But yes, as the party managed to dispatch this strange creature, they made their way into the cavern, seemingly with no more enemies around, to investigate this large crystalline structure. In it, they found a strange variety of things. However, most importantly, was they found Lorve and several other kidnapped elves, as well as I believe you found. That's where you found these. No, you didn't find the students there, but you did find another group of people who had been kidnapped. You found the students there.
Yeah, there were 3 kidnapped wizard students here.
Oh yeah, it was 3
among
yeah.
the other races.
Yeah.
I think it was on
people of other races.
It was also on the way to this that I had that really awful vision of a horrid worm.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, with heads on its.
Well, okay, I can explain it very vividly if you'd like me to, because I remember what it looks.
It was just
like walking in here. You got the vision?
No. On the way to here.
Yes.
Like I think it was one I was like at the end of my watch or something like that. Because I also encountered Maggot Dude, just sitting there staring at us, like while you're sleeping.
Imagine like a giant like millipede, like not like giant as in like big for a millipede, as in like giant as in big for a big. And it had like a central face, right? And all of it were like little like almost like tubes, like tentacles, each of which had their own face on them. I could find the image somewhere. I'd have to plug in my hard drive though, because it's on my Tome of Beasts. It's in there.
Heads on its many tongues is what I have.
Yeah, wholly unpleasant.
Very disturbing.
A worm god in general.
Yes.
Okay.
But as they sort of entered the cave and rescued the several folk that were in there, let's see. This is slightly tangential, but did you ever like meet up with those dwarves again? The ones that were from like Granadin and the Golden Ranges? I don't remember. I thought I had something planned for that. Guess not.
No, we haven't really been back so much.
No, I thought I was trying to remember if you guys ran into them when you were in Granadin or something, but I guess not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it explains to you that these sort of Tesseract-like objects are almost similar to something like they have like the ability to not only counterspell and like dispel magic, but also to absorb it and use it for its own storing purposes. Similar to that of a ring of like spell storing that would be not a common item, but one that would definitely be heard of and morally acceptable. As these objects were able to permanently steal magic essence from creatures.
Did we specify that the monster in the dock cave and the warehouse cave, they shoved Tesseract into the guy?
Yes.
And that transformed him?
Yes. Yeah. I believe I did.
So it's like,
well, now you know.
We're on some bullshit here with these damn cubes.
Fuck off. Not right now. Thank you. Go upstairs. It always sounds like they're falling down the stairs, but that's just how they run up it. They're big, I guess. But, yeah. as you guys are sort of fed more information about the figure known as Offhorn, Sparks lost his fur, and you also found this strange, almost like egg-like object, sort of pulsing with arcane and magical energy. That was an interesting one, because that was stuffed into the bag of holding. As it had the ability to sort of re-grant or to give back spell slots and other arcane talents that had been expended. But you guys were also during that you were alerted of the
Mark's was so upset that you lost that.
What? Yeah. Well, you know what? Don't go to the Shadowfell and get captured by a fucking demon lord. You didn't deserve it after that.
So this is the point at which Sparks' blue fur fell out.
Yes.
For the first
His
time.
skin is still blue, though.
Yes.
I guess that's right, because fur is not like colored; it's the skin usually.
Mm-hmm.
But and you guys are also informed of another camp. What's it called? A bit of the ways away, and sort of set up shop for the night to rest these mines, and then go on to the area in the beginning, and yada yada yada. The only other thing you find out, I think that was super relevant, was that over the course of her capture, Larvae had lost her ability to use magic, which is rather important when you're a sorcerer. Oh yeah, I remember that. I literally just stole that name. I named a character Aloy because I had the box for Horizon Zero Dawn on my desk, and I couldn't think of a name.
Alloy.
Yeah.
Circus and Alloy.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
But
Holy shit.
as you guys were sort of making your way to the second camp, you reached this sort of tent city, known as, it didn't have a name. But the sort of
City.
the city with no name. Surprisingly, there's a lot of those. It gets rather confusing. But you're approached by a figure named Shivalter, just sort of checking you guys out, making sure you're not anything too dangerous, as his job was to sort of watch over the city. But what you did notice was this rather large sort of a circus tent pitched up in the distance. And I don't know how the fuck to explain all of this in a succinct way. There was a circus.
We had an episode arc, is what happened.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. So, Sparks temporarily joined the circus. He became Russian during it. Kalis tried to spy on the circus members, and then blew up the tent. But I remember this. I don't remember why. I remember you raged. I don't remember why you raged. So what's happened was he was spying on two people.
I was probably trying to lift like a box or something.
No, you weren't. You were peeking under like a tent or like through curtains or something, and like you rolled down yourself and they saw you, and like they looked over, and you raged and then ran away.
Mm-hmm.
And when you roll, he's a wild soul barbarian. It's like a wild magic sorcerer, except they hit things better, and they do kind of cool stuff sometimes. And
but like what happened is they spotted me sneaking. I like and then just like an object kind of unrelated to me within 30 feet of me just exploded. Just a crate just splintered apart.
Yes, because you're fucking pixies. Because you got the wild magic surge, so these magical fucking pixies just flew out and started blowing shit up around the tent. And he just ran off. And like they're over here trying to put out the fire from the lantern that was just fucking smashed along their tent. And Kalis just gets away. And no one questions that again.
Nope. I mean, this is a circus. Like, what are they gonna do? Perform at us?
Lastly,
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I'm gonna fucking acrobat the shit out of you. But in Sparks' investigation, he finds out that since they have come to this area, circus members have been falling ill, and they had ran into a small group of those purple armbanded bandits on the road as they had headed over here. They talked to one of the members, and upon inspecting him, as Jung looked on, he didn't seem to have any physical illness or disease. What's it called? What's it called? As they were investigating, what's it called? The area, Sparks still undercover at this point. And speaking to what's it called? One of the people who had sort of spoken with, briefly spoken, just as they were passing by these group of people, there was this strange object enchanted with this unfamiliar magic. And at this point, I don't know exactly how it happened, but somehow Kalis was spotted. And immediately, like, shit kind of broke down as Kalis was restrained, and it just says Kalis was restrained. I don't think you guys got in a full fight. I believe he was just sort of pulled back because you were recognized by the tiefling woman who was like the second in command of the church, or not the church, the fucking tent. And I love this line: Archon robbed me of a hippogriff.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, there's okay. There's some editorializing in parts of my notes. Not the whole thing, but like in parts, I will say.
Understandable.
I love the long con of me writing that like 2 years ago to you reading that right now.
This was meant to be. Simple as that.
You can delete that if you want. Okay.
Nah. But as they sort of investigated the stone, they found out that it was just something one of the performers had picked up by the side of the road, as after they had passed these people, and it seemingly was also leaving some of the performers unable to use their magic, which they had been able to use previously. Bum bum bum. I believe you got a description of the group of bandits as they were heading vaguely northwards from where they were. So you got a vague idea of where they were heading, and a description of the group and this what's it called? No, they didn't show that fate. But no, words hard. I don't believe you guys did too much there wasn't a fight at the tent. You guys did nothing crazy happened there, if I remember correctly, right? That didn't happen. No, you guys didn't stay for the actual circus performance. I remember now.
We did.
No.
We did not. You did not.
Okay.
But you guys follow the trail of the remaining group of bandits, and you encounter them sort of outside of this cave. Excuse me. And in front of the cave, or at least one of the entrances, were this rather strange. What's it called? Oh yeah. Oh, that's what it was. So it's large scorch marks in the. It's called it, bitch. These large scorch marks in the tree line. What's it called? From a black. Oh yeah, I remember. You guys found you would later, at least be able to intuit, discover what may or may not have been the transformation site of what was the supposedly dead figure known as Alforn, as they had been traveling. You guys made it. Then you made it to the actual cave itself, and outside, you see one of the sort of masked, maggoted figures, or like one of the masked figures with sort of maggots. He was made of maggots. I don't know how else to say it. There's no cool way to say that. Maggot man.
Yeah. Jinx.
Maggot man.
You found Maggot Man with these sort of ashen gray tentacles reach into the dirt underneath this large tree and sort of corrupt the ground around the area. And you guys decided not to fuck with that as you sense this heavy energy of transmutation coming from it, Chaos. At that point, you guys ambushed one of the guards. You took him a prisoner, I believe, to get information. But very quickly, what's it called? Wait, what's up?
Jogan let him go. Wyland.
What? Oh yeah,
Wanted to
that's
kill him.
Wyland.
Yeah, I wanted to kill him, and Jogan said, no, we should let it go. And I still think he's gonna come back and bite us in the ass. Fucking Wyland.
He's cool.
No.
You can't kill everyone all the time.
Why not?
He was a slaver.
Over a year.
A lot of people were slavers.
No,
Doesn't mean they all need to die.
that's not true. That's statistically not true. I don't think there's a single slaver in
All
this
right,
call.
Fox.
I'm just talking about the.
Whatever you say.
Okay, and what do you think I do? I go to work for 40 hours a week because I like it.
Theory of capitalism. You got real meta real quick. So have you guys
different slavery.
It's just slavery with more steps.
Oh my.
You get paid though, and you can leave.
Well, you can leave slavery too. You can kill yourself, but no one,
You can leave and live.
Hey, that's me getting off of work an hour and a half ago.
Exactly. You got off of work today.
Alright.
Anyway, we should have killed Wyland. That's my point.
Maybe
he'll ignore me.
Join. He'll be a friend from us. I have hope.
But he gave you some information about it that was saying that basically saying that Alforn was trafficking with these people for a figure known as Minsak. Man, I don't even know that shit in so long.
For the Mensaka.
Minsaka, yes. And he'd been talking with this sort of disturbing masked figure for a period of about 5 months. And the masked figure is also one that turned Alforn into whatever his figure is now, as he's sort of like strange 9 foot tall, like mutated or disfigured version of what he was previously.
I kind of imagine like a fantasy version of General Grievous. That's what I had in my head.
Yeah, kind of, with little less chunks of metal, a little bit, but just pretty fucked up. But you guys were able to engage the group, coming out successfully. As the scene basically ended, it was very funny, as you guys were going to rescue the prisoners, with Alforn seeing Sparks, and going on a murderous rampage. As Sparks made his way out of the cavern, as it was this roof on the top, and was not ready to be very quickly followed. As Sparks was running away, I believe, he just had jumped off back to the ground level, and as he was being chased after, the last blow was Alforn sort of reaching out after him, almost grabbing him sort of by the ankle before he was killed by, I don't remember who he was killed by.
Probably Brynhild.
Probably.
I don't remember at all.
I think she's killed more bosses than anybody.
Didn't you say that Sparks evaporated him?
Oh, maybe Sparks did. I don't remember.
He might have. He might have turned around and like gotten his spell off and killed him.
I think that.
He got away.
Sure.
Bum, bum, bum.
But yes. And as Sparks did so, seemingly killing him for good now, there wasn't too much there. You all sort of went back down, freeing those who had been imprisoned, as well as investigating the area to see what you could find. Within things, you found things like the good old iron bands of Bolero. No one knows. Someone has them.
You?
What's it called?
You do?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I know I had them for a long time.
We gave them to you for the Melder Brain fight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, importantly, you guys had found a sending stone with the profile of a face on it.
That goes back to Helena.
Yes. So you guys basically escorted everyone back, you guided them to the city of Riven Ridge, and then Zorhan very graciously or grateful, decided rewarded you with several magical items that he had.
Some of the best shit we've ever got in this campaign. That like javelin of lightning, like
It's
through thick and thin.
It's put in mileage.
That's where we got it. We still in use. Did you still have it, right, or did you throw it away?
No, he retrieved it.
I
Sparks
periodically throw it, in fact.
But I still use the bag of
sometimes
tricks
in a
too.
ravine, but it always comes back.
Maybe it should be the boomerang of lightning.
I should tie a rope to that and throw it. See if the rope fully catches on fire.
Just
throw.
Just get or like put a spell of returning on it. Like I have my daggers. So
It's already magic though.
No.
So, as you guys made your way back, sort of taking a moment to rest in Revedia, that's when you guys had actually used the Sending Stone, and you found out that it returned to Helena Hearthkeeper, who is sort of like the secretary of the Bronze Flame, who assigns many of the people there various quests and things like that, which was slightly concerning considering where it had just come from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were posing as the wizard traffickers and ended up confusing her.
Yeah.
But at this point, Kalos is pretty sure that she was in on it.
I think most of the party was.
Yeah.
I think most of the party was. But dun dun dun. Yes, you book passage to Revedia, along with Lorave, to join you all, with some of the people who, who had also been captured.
Mm-hmm. That's also where we first. Oh no! When we got back was when we heard about Felicia Stormwind. That's right.
Yes. So yeah, you guys basically confronted her as soon as you walked in the door.
We're not subtle.
No. And in which, as she sort of confused by your very, very bold accusations, which were fair accusations,
because we thought she was sending out people like wizards from the guild to these human traffickers to like give them a supply.
Yeah.
Of like young adventurers or whatever. Fresh magic.
And you guys had discovered that while the Sending Stone definitely went to Helena, she was not the person who at least seemed to be sending these things out. As the Sending Stone belonged to how the guild used to work, they had a system where parties would be assigned Sending Stones to keep in contact with the Bronze Flame itself for the sake of safety and things like that. However, that had stopped being used for quite some time at this point. It belonged to, as I said, it belonged to Felicia Stormwind, who was a mentor to Varus, which wasn't super relevant, but I don't think you guys ever asked Varus about it, did you? I don't think you ran into him around that time.
We asked him, I think, because we hadn't met up with Varus then, didn't we? Or was he there?
I don't remember, but I know what it says is that you guys found out that he apparently was either reporting or investigating the Minsaka figure that you guys had stumbled upon to you, and then he started acting very strange and had just left without a trace, which is very peculiar considering the people who were looking for him are especially adept at doing so. Yeah, this is also where you met Baron, I believe, as well, as you were asking Baron about Felicio, as he was formerly, what's it called? Oh, fuck. I'm just gonna... Boom. Sorry. There's so much fucking information. Holy shit.
Yeah, who are we talking to about the Minsaka? Was this all for Baron?
Well, you guys, it was a mix of things. You guys, I read about it in the library, as well as I think you found out most of it from Baron because he was the one who was he was looking into it as well as Felicio. Then Felicio kind of went off the grid.
Yeah. Okay. So what? Okay. So he was the human source. Well, the live source.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dogman.
Yeah.
Around how we met Father for first time.
No, you didn't meet him for a while.
Well, no,
It was the next arc, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh.
And the end of this, the next part of what we do ended up with us going into the Shadow of Hell, I think.
At the end of this,
Yeah.
yes. So. Yeah.
Walked into it.
After your
Yes,
confrontation, Sparks, walked in. Sparks goes to the Great Library of Revedia to research magical court cults, and they found a record from about 40 years ago. Yeah, okay, it's about 40 years ago. Oh, the record was by Felicio. I thought it was saying that Felicio was the one who was worshiping him. I was like, hey, that's... what the fuck? The Lurker Beneath, or... Oh my god, my fucking words.
I'm not sure we know the name of that yet. I might have gone back in my notes and retroactively added the name again when we learned it later.
It's pretty... No, it's pretty...
I think I guys found the name out pretty early.
It's
Okay.
after this that we found out, because I have read it all, because I handwrite it. So
Oh yeah, you can't edit that.
I can, but I didn't. So it's a little bit after this that we find out that it is. It's after we arrive at the ruins with Baron in the plains of Apalicia.
I think we just learned about the Lurker Beneath when we were going to the library.
So you guys had learned the
That's all
title
we
at this
knew.
point. And then it also mentioned...
Yeah, because we knew it was like a freaky worm god or something.
And you knew about the 4 leaders, one of which you believe you had encountered with a sort of white figure with the purple pattern with the purple line pattern on the mask.
Mm-hmm.
You were rewarded for what you had done to that point, and introduced Baron Samir. Cool guy, I guess. Well, some people were introduced. Some people, not everyone was introduced. But the head of a group known as the Watchers, a sort of smaller organization within the government of Revedia, who's basically the eyes and ears in order to sort of keep tabs on magical misconduct throughout the realm. Rather small, secretive organization. Most common folk don't even really know they exist, but now you do. What else is relevant information? Oh yeah, he told you about the last few places that they had sort of been investigating, where these several temples to this figure across the plains of Apalicia, which you mentioned before, where many of the beast tribes originate from. And he intended to go revisit a few of them, as they had in the past. However, something gave him the feeling that it might be a good idea to check up on things once again. And I believe that's the TLDR for that session. There's some lore stuff in there that happens. Like, you guys figured out where the elves came from, or like the diaspora of like the elves, as they sort of
years ago. Yeah, the Moving Wilds had a schism, and Wood Elves went to the Emerald Lane, Drow went to the Golden Ranges, and High Elves went to Queen's Landing.
Yeah, I really redo the timeline, because in my head I didn't think that out very much. It should have been much more like 1,000 years is not that long. Like, I don't...
Well, a reliable narrator writing this history.
Yeah, it's that's what everything you hear is from an NPC, so they're just wrong, that's all. Uh-oh. So, Baron teleported you all to the plains of Appalachia and gave you some horses to make your way towards the easternmost, where you guys had sort of volunteered to help with... Oh yeah, you guys reached 5th level, so this is around the... You guys reached 5th level a few sessions before this. This is where you met Jung's boyfriend. He's a skeleton.
I don't remember actually meeting him.
He's not like... And it's not like feigned from Divinity, or like... Fucking... Like, he's a skeleton where he dresses nice.
I mean, he'd always been there, but she just introduced him, I think, to us as her boyfriend.
Yeah, well, he wasn't able to be resurrected until 5th level, so it was like he was like there for like 2 sessions at most.
Yeah, well, he was her
Like, with the fact
boyfriend.
that every time I would go back there, I would also do the one spell that keeps the body fresh. I kept on doing that.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's alive as a skeleton?
No, he's dead as fuck.
Oh, no, yeah, it's definitely dead.
Well, then why'd you need to do the fresh spell if you're just animating his body? I cannot hear you, Ethan.
No, I'm sorry. I'm in the kitchen right now. Pristine bones.
Oh, pristine bones.
Yeah. What do you think I did when I wasn't hang out with you guys?
We did not ask any questions.
I don't think anyone would have assumed you were doing that.
No.
That's a very bold assumption to make of somebody.
Fair enough.
Keep them bones fresh. Keep them boy bones fresh.
But
Calm down.
oh god. But yeah, as the party decided to go make their way towards these, interesting temples, the party was ambushed in the night by a group of gnolls, I believe, in which a hallmark moment occurred in their history. Or hallmark, that's not the word. A key moment occurred in the history of that gnoll tribe. As in their negotiations to travel throughout the land safely, the party gave them The party gave them a barrel of gunpowder.
Barks gave them. I don't remember agreeing to that.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't feel like that was my fault. I feel like I was on the outside of that deal.
Well, I don't know why does it have to be your fault? It's just a thing that happened.
You're trying to assign a collective, but I don't think I did that personally.
I don't think we signed off on that.
But
I
did.
think I was absent for that session, so I'm good.
I'm just saying.
So you're only complicit, is what you're saying.
No.
I'm not saying it wasn't a group decision. It was just a decision made that several people were involved in, and some of them weren't there. Or maybe they were. Anywho,
Also Lessa, she's badass.
Yes, Lessa was, she was one of the, people assigned to watch over the plains of Appalachia. Yeah, I remember Lessa. Lessa was cool. And I believe she went, she was also going to another one that you guys met at, this sort of, secret, it's kind of like a safe house, out, in the area. And I'm looking at the wrong section, which is why I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I've got, let's see, Baron last saw Felicia about 35 to 40 years ago, where the group that he was watching the, oh my god, the name.
My notes here are pretty jumpy.
Mensach. Yeah, the Mensach, summoned a creature, and they lost many to the creature, a writhing black mass of darkness about size of about 20 by 30 feet. Creature took several forms, imitating others, but a black mass was the most frequent form. It was not from the Nine Hells, not like any Fae. Ran into creatures similar to the Ents from Corrupted Magic. Incidents in Appalachia and near Queen's Landing. Moving Wilds was originally in King's Basin before it filled with water. Okay, that makes more sense now. This group stored energies and elemental gems. The fell object, the Tesseract-looking thing, is more complex than what they once had. So they've been trying to do this stuff for a while at this point. So we went to ruins. There's some ruins in the plains of Appalachia, and we went there to investigate if the same group is gathering energy to summon an elder god to the plane. Also, Felicia was a silver dragonborn. Silver dragon. Not dragonborn, dragon. I guess it would be. Was it dragon? Yeah. Okay. I second guess myself. Yep. Then we learned the name of the lurker beneath. I don't know who told us it, but this is where I've got the note.
Yeah, because we went into the rune, right? In the
Yeah,
Plains of Elysia. So we
yeah.
found this huge like mural. There's both sides of this giant atrium, ironically Skyrim-like room, like sort of a Cairn room, um, where there's this this obelisk in the middle, and there was this mural of these like Fey forces and of Shadowfell forces, and they all met at the middle, and there was a war between these Shadar-kai elves fighting these wood elves and Eladrin, Ents, and Fey. And I imagine there's other stuff from the Shadowfell too that I didn't write down.
Hmm.
And yeah, the leader of the um, Shadowfell forces was Relim Shykorth, the worm god,
Hmm.
and he led him against an antlered man carrying a bow that looked. Uh, you said he looked familiar to Kalis, I think. Although maybe that familiar is not the right word.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so similar.
I mean, because
Yeah, and then there was a dwarf turning into a bear on the Feywild side, and a sorceress wearing a spired crown who was leading the Fey. So I imagine that's supposed to be a reference to the Lord of the Wilds, Lord of the Moving Wild.
this is also the session where Rolthos came back the final time and was being sketchy as fuck, and Taryn was watching him. He tried to run away, and she rolled a natural 20 to be like, where you going, motherfucker?
So I just have camped and Rolthos was ambushed during the night.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah, Gaz,
Okay, so we fought Knowles. Okay.
and yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know what's.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand why Benji always finds a way to get in trouble. Did we bring up the kids, the ghost kids?
Was that? I don't remember any ghost children. I think I must. Oh, okay.
Mhm. I was there. The ghost one. Oh, it was just
I was there, but I couldn't hurt anything. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just really quiet then.
Yeah, on the mural, I've got left side is the face side with Ents, right side was Dark Elves. There's an obelisk at the top center of the mural that's sort of part of it, but also slightly in front of it.
Stuck in the middle with
Mhm.
Worm God. Center of the room. It was in the center of the room.
A mural.
That's at least how I envision it. Like it was like Alduin's wallet sort of like wraps around the room, like the sides of the room, and then there's sort of like oval ending of the room, and then the center, like maybe down some steps. There was the obelisk.
It was the top center. I have written down obelisk is at top center of mural that is sort of part of it, but also slightly in front of it. Those are my exact notes. Sparks.
Oh
A
shit!
rubies.
That's the new That's the obelisk we're fucking at. What the hell?
Sparks saw rubies and tried to pull it off with his dagger because he's like, "Ooh, shiny."
That was the tower. It's your fault. This is confusing. No, but
All
if
learning
this is the
together, guys.
same fucking obelisk that they're fighting over, oh my mind is blown. I didn't realize there was a reference to this far back.
Wait.
We're at an obelisk right now, Turret. Atomic. The tower that's the source of the corruption. Right?
Gotta make a note of that. Hang on. Like, like we're here. Like we're right here in my notes, and then the new notes are here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is session 14.
God.
It's 51 back.
51.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wow.
take a restroom break real quick.
Yeah,
But be right back.
Yeah.
We'll lay down for like 5 seconds.
Are we just gonna leave the stream going? We're all leaving. Bye. We're hot messes, is what this is. This is us also reliving and remembering what happened 2 years ago. Yeah. Like I clearly remember all of this stuff happening, but so it's like doesn't seem like that long ago, but also at the same time I don't remember so much. Yeah.
Good times.
I'm gonna go get tea here on a second as soon as I am done writing down this note for Haru blowing my goddamn mind here. All right, tea time. Tea time.
It's not allowed. Can't leave. Not leave.
There we go.
Go downstairs.
That's fine. All right, yeah. Hello, we're doing the thing where we're back now, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. We're clearly, you see us. What do you want me to tell you? But
Well, you don't see.
you see most of us. You know what? That's good. Stop complaining.
In some cases, you probably see half of us in one place and the other half of us in another place.
No, I fixed the cameras.
Okay.
Kind.
I just saw that happen whenever one person turned their feed off or something.
Yeah, it just depends who's certain. So generally, the only people who can turn their cam off and be fine is... Actually, it's really just Liz. Huh. Oh well. So quickly jumping back as we're gonna wrap up this recap, is we'll probably be stopping in the next like 15-20 minutes or so, talking about this last
15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's so yeah, air quotes are appropriate here because this next two sessions that we're going to go over are probably some of the more impactful early sessions we had. So as this large what's it called, sort of cubic type object rises from the ground, along each of the four sides of it, sort of on the different cardinal phases of it, are four different figures. The first of one is this gaunt figure clutching its stomach while crawling towards a fruit tree. The second of which is, you see this massive muscular figure fighting a group of people. A lone figure in a parted crowd. And the last one is a gemstone-eyed figure looking back, alone and lost in like this empty area. And you know what? Thank God I put a gemstone in his fucking eye. Because here's what happened. Upon seeing this, with zero hesitation, Sparks takes his dagger and begins to pry out the gem. And as he does so, the party sees him enveloped in this white magic and disappear. In like almost like a camera flash, he's just gone. And Sparks finds himself in this strange area, outside in this barren, rocky environment, in this massive maze, next to a statue of one of the Shadar Kai, the elves they've seen on the murals of the Shadowfell, as well as this large wormed figure. And his first thing, I'm just gonna fly out this maze. And then the maze said no. As he found himself grounded once again, the party on the other side was like, huh? The fuck just happened? And through their, what's it called? I don't remember why, but I remember everyone ended up going into different sections. What's it called? And in each, they would find...
Well, because there was an angry portal.
Yeah. No.
I had to go through the angry portal.
It makes sense. But the party discovered on each side of this sort of transportations, these strange trials. And it wasn't until Jugum had sort of made it herself where they felt she felt the familiar sensation of the Shadowfell once more. So I believe the first trial, or at least the trial that Terrence Price participated in, was the Trial of the Lost, as the Shadowfell is a place known to sort of intensify any negative emotion. It is literally the plane of negative emotions, so fear, anger, loneliness, hunger, all those things, mistrust, hatred, are all amplified while in this area. And as they were forced to combat the literal physical embodiments of these creatures, there was, let's see, it was an interesting one. So Terrence Price actually managed to make their way out the maze without encountering the creature, which was nice, very good. Because I was worried about that. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little dumb. Initially, I didn't think that everyone would go to separate portals. I thought like
party.
Like I just didn't think that would. I thought like y'all would like go in like in groups and shit. I was wrong.
This is the closest Kaylee ever got to. This is probably the closest Kaylee's ever got to dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through the other portal in which Kalis went, it was the physical manifestation of anger itself. Sort of near a grove of trees enclosed by cliffs, there was a giant monster ripping them out of the earth, tree by tree. And as
it was too big, it was too angry, and it was cheating.
Yes. He initially did try to run from it. However, as he sort of turned to defend himself in battle, with every blow, the creature grew stronger and stronger, until after
because it was cheating.
Because it was cheating, yes.
I'm as dumb as my character.
And eventually, after having previously finished their trial, Sparks and Taryn had gone in, and it was basically on the statue that they had been transported in by. There was an inscription instructing them not how to solve the trial, but basically a warning against the use of violence, and they attempted to pacify the creature. I believe Taryn sung to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember you had to roll high as shit for that too. Because that was like, because I don't, because that was not the original solution. I remember that.
Yeah, I was thinking like, music like calms the savage beast, I think is what my reasoning was for it.
Yeah, and over the course of, I think it was almost like a few rounds of like just like not hitting it, and Taryn attempting to soothe the creature, you watched as it slowly began to shrink and dissipate to this sort of weak form, which it just slumped off away from you guys. Jung-un went through the portal of the lonely.
I did too.
Yes, I was about to say, partnered with the one and only Zelthar, as they found themselves encased in this magical darkness, only hearing this sort of loud, almost crying-like moaning sound echoing from around them. Hoping, begging,
my friend.
Yes, begging and pleading for their companionship. And as it had these almost drill-like arms that would... He had fucking rocket punches. But it was like drills. As he attempted to pull them closer into their embrace. I don't remember how you guys figured out, but eventually as you guys got closer to each other, had grabbed onto one another in the darkness, you found yourselves out.
I distinctly remember Zelthar not wanting to do that. He was like,
No.
"Get the fuck away from me! Get
And
the fuck
Jung-un-
away from me!" And I was like, "Give me a hug!"
Zelthar said, no. I think he finally did agree, because Jung-un was just so sad.
I think it was the,
I don't think he
blue
agreed.
health.
I think I just hugged him.
No, he didn't agree. He just...
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then the last of which was the Hungry. Guess what his key feature is? As there's this large, massive mod creature, but extremely like emaciated, like almost like pure like just skin and bones, as it was attempting to literally consume the party. And then there was the discovery of something called yeet berries, and instead of the creature feasting off the party to satisfy itself and let them free, over the course of a few rounds, you were able to sort of lob good berries into this thing's gullet.
Yeet.
In order-
The official term is
Yeet, or fuck you.
Eat berries.
yeet berries.
Yeet
I think
be-
that's the
You were able to yeet berries. That works that way too, right? You can call them yeet berries. You
Yeah,
can also say you yeet berries.
Mhm.
Into the
Aren't they
thing's
called
gullet.
that in your roll 20?
Yes, they are. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think I called it Goodberry Yeet.
Ah,
I think that was it. And then I got. Do I still have that?
I hope
Anyways,
so.
But
probably. No,
You're
because I got.
oh, go ahead. Speak.
Oh no. Speak.
No.
fine. Okay, so I got rid of good berries because, like, other than that, they're not useful.
That was very useful, though. That's
It
true.
was very useful in that situation, but I never casted it.
No
But
more
it's still on my
berries.
list. Speak.
And
Real
the
as a
creature
shred.
was eventually satiated, avoiding having to, have it feed on the flesh of yourselves. You were able to free yourself. And as each side of the structure, the trial of which was completed, you watch as it sort of shifted, giving way to this staircase beneath it. And
I
Terran...
have a
Oh, go ahead.
I have a note that says Terran held sparks back from the hungry statue. What does that mean? Do you remember?
Was he trying to go back in?
Yeah, he was, because he wanted to get more rubies, and we said absolutely fucking not. So, yeah. He wanted more shinies, and I said, no, sir. That's my guess, anyways. I don't have that written down. But that would be my guess.
But, yeah. As the party had made their way down, they discovered this separate area, and for most of this, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be relying on Terran's notes because Haru wasn't here for this session.
Yeah. So,
and-
I can...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Take the
We
floor.
were-
Save me.
Oh, was I not here for this session?
I don't
Well,
believe so. It's...
You were.
Oh.
You were, because I have a note that you helped me with something during the session.
Oh, I just assumed there's a gap in the notes, I just assumed you weren't there.
No. Well, I think we came back, and I think that's when also Sparks tried to get the ruby again, and we said, no, don't go back in there. We just came out. So, but after passing through the 4 sides of the pillar, we got to a hidden section with 9 out of 12 masks from the cults. I can't remember the name of it. And
Mensa, yes, smart guys.
Yeah, so they're all wearing masks. So Althorn was wearing a mask, and we saw them. So we found it was in a triangle formation, and I think the 3 at the top were missing.
Yes, is the top one and the 2 under it.
Yeah, so the 3 at the top, at the very top of the pyramid, missing. But so 9 of the 12 masks were there, and we took them and put them in the bag of holding, because Kalis looked at them and saw magic. They were all different. I don't know if it was the same magic or it was different magics. I can't remember. Different schools of magic. But you did detect magic on them, and you saw that they were magic.
Fuck, I'm trying to remember what magic they... Yeah, because
I know
you didn't
they
put
were-
it on, did you? You were tempted to, but you didn't put it on, right?
Yeah, I think I picked it up, and it was like calling to me to be like put it on, but it didn't work.
Okay.
I can't remember if I resisted it or if someone distracted me.
I
But
think you resisted it, because if you would have had to resist it if you had it like that.
Yeah. And then on our way out of there, I think there was just like one way out of there. We had to like drop down a hole or something.
Yeah.
There was a statue of the devouring worm, which I wanted to knock over, and I have a note here that Kalis helped me, which Terran remembered that.
Yeah, I'm definitely here for that. I
Yeah.
remember this session.
And Jugging and Sparks were dismissive of that, and Terran also remembered that. So... And then Juggin also found books related to making constructs.
The bug.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so excited for that, aren't we?
Who the fuck is we?
Wow.
I can't wait.
But,
Hope we're ready for whenever we get back to, well, I guess 3 months after we get back from Revedia.
Oh, this is okay. I think this is the next session because he went to a different. Baron went to a different temple.
yes,
This
all...
is
yes.
3.
Yeah. You guys went to one, Lessa went to one, Baron went to another one.
Right. Yeah. So the next one I have is from the next session. I think when we went to go catch up with him.
Yeah. And as you guys had made your way back to the safe house, traveling for a little bit, Lessa was there as well, and she informed me that Baron hadn't returned either, which was a cause of concern for all of you, because you kind of liked him at that point. You thought he was okay at the very least. and decided to go investigate. And you had what was essentially like a hearthstone that led straight to Baron. So y'all just fucking used it. You popped in and you found Baron still alive, but not by a wide margin, in a jail cell. As you sort of woke him and found that the temple that he had gone to was still quite active, or at least, well, it wasn't before when he last been here, but it was now quite active.
There were two elves talking about what to do with him: take him back to Master or finish him off. But they didn't want to leave the place unattended. Signals from other locations.
Yes.
Down there.
Yeah. And eventually, as you guys are trying to figure out a way to get out, you decided the best way to do so is an act of incredible violence. As immediately sort of busting down the door, a fight breaks out as, as you all begin laying in the mini guards in this area.
Two warp creatures also?
Yes.
Cages? Yeah, that were trying to bust their way out of their cages.
Yes. 1 second.
We never knew what was going to happen to us, guys.
Wait, so...
Brett probably got eaten by worms.
Oh! They're fucking dead. But yeah, as you guys engage in combat, one of the sort of like cloaked figures that seem to be in charge, after casting this lightning bolt, sort of lying down the whole area, lighting everyone up, he attempted to make his escape as he saw the fight was not going his way, and he succeeded on that part at the very least, but not at what came after it, as I, the DM, had made a grave oversight. I figured there'd be no problem in just I figured it'd make sense if you go to the portal, it stays open for 1 round, right? Because why not? It seems sensible, right? And then I did not calculate that the entire party would be able to travel through that portal in 1 turn.
Well, to be fair, Sparks is really fast because he's a tabaxi, and he fucking booked it toward that portal and swan dove into it.
Correct.
And we said, fuck, we can't leave him.
Yes. So
And I can dash for 80 feet around.
yeah, so immediately after seeing this happen, the party gives chase to the ally who had just given chase to the guy running away. As Terrence would be, you can't just fucking leave him. Cause he's as they all gave chase, jumping through the portal one by one, and they found themselves in this massive cathedral. It's large, almost like Gothic style, church building, and with the very new but now familiar feeling of being the Shadowfell once more. And that's where we're gonna stop the recap for now. I feel like 3 hours is really fucking solid just for a recap, considering that's not even a quarter of the way.
Oh, shouldn't we put session 18 in this though?
No. Give us something to come back for. Just session 18 on its own is another half hour. Session 18 is a lot of fucking information.
What was the name of session 18?
That was where there was all the brothers, it was the father, it was the...
I just like the fact that in 2 episodes, Sparks transported us twice into the Shadowfell.
That was impressive. Not many people could do that. Especially when he nor I intended either. Well, I intended the first one.
No, yeah, he didn't know. Well, because we didn't know where the portal was leading, of course. We didn't know, and he didn't know that he was going to make a portal. He just said, I can't let this guy get away. So he ran after it in his fast little tabaxi ass, and we said, oh no, where's our tabaxi going?
Alright, well that's the fault of 2 things. That's Elijah's fault, because we teleported to the plains of Appalachia. We went to the temple with 4 portals in it. We went back to the base camp, and we teleported to Baron Samar.
I thought you were just going to break him out and leave.
Away, and we teleported after that mage.
Oh, through.
And
I
the
thought-
other thing it's the fault of is Joe's lack of inhibitions.
Like, I thought, like, you guys were gonna, like, see, in my head, I was like, yeah, they could follow him, but they gotta worry about Baron and all that shit. They can't just, like, you know, they got that whole thing going on. And then it was like, alright, we're going, oh, shit. I guess, okay.
I mean,
Hey, what happens, happens. And, I will just say, I ended the session there. I remember that distinctly because we still had like I think an hour or something like to go for like normal. We were doing like an hour and a half. I was like, all right, guys, I fucked up.
Yeah, you did.
But
I need to go prepare.
it did, because at the time, Unkiara wasn't even something that I had. Like, I didn't have a name for it. The city, like, I was just like, hell, wouldn't it be funny if, like, oh god,
It was funny.
And you know what? We haven't encountered a single portal since.
weird, really?
That's not true.
That's-
Yeah, we
We
did.
have in that siege on the Torvin City. 'Cause we
Well,
had
that
to,
was a
like,
very self-contained portal. We haven't encountered portals in a
I
while.
would be, that wasn't even a
Okay.
conscious decision. That was just my trauma, just fucking manifesting. That wasn't a conscious decision I was making at all.
It's funny.
Your teleporters got it. Someone's gonna jump into it.
It's
Sparks.
Sparks.
It's after like the first session. I know it's the first session, but like, come on, the shiny thing in the middle of the room. Let's grab it.
I love that motherfucker. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it is great. Someone has to do it. Someone has to do it.
Someone
It's
has
not
to be that motherfucker. I just don't want to be the first.
me. They always force Nest into it.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Actually, you're supposed to do it to the rogue.
What?
Yeah, the
You're
rogue is
supposed
supposed to be like a good, like, you know, like almost like a metal detector for these type of things.
Yeah, you're supposed to grab all the stuff.
Well, he's frequently faster than I am, and he's smaller. He's much more compact and small. And he also has a lot of rogue tendencies. Like
Hey, listen.
he's stolen so much shit. I don't think I've actually stolen anything. Not that
Well, like,
rogue.
guess you're not the part of the thieves guild.
Not that guild.
Murderers Guild.
Assassin guild.
But yeah.
Alright.
Unless anyone has anything spicy they want to throw in, that's where we're gonna end the recording for now. This will be up on YouTube at the whatever the channel name is. Someone linked it in the group chat earlier. Let me just say that shit and put it in the Twitch chat. I thought it was on the Twitch page. It might not be. I'm kind of lazy.
Upload the previous ones, like from Masterworks, or no?
No, because that's
Okay.
so much. No. I'm
Fair.
gonna just put a link to the old channel and the descriptions for the newer video. That's about it. 'Cause that's like, how many episodes to even upload? It's like,
It's not the full
Like
amount because
30.
we weren't.
it's like
recording-
30, 35, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Not terrible, but like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's like I would suggest going through them and editing them, like you would have to.
Yeah, the only problem is, like, if I'm editing a 4-hour-long session, that's gonna take me, like,
That would be
at least, like, 6 to
immensely
7
more
hours.
work than just uploading the video file.
Well, no, that'd even be more, yeah, at least 6 to 7 hours to upload each video. And if I'm actually editing it, like, to make it, like, not just, like, cutting out the break in the intro. But, yeah, unless anyone has anything they want to throw in there, or, like, campaign moments from the early parts of the Tales of Revedia, because this is weird. It's been a long time since this has all happened. It's literally
has.
been,
This
it's
was like-
literally been years.
We got up to what, like, right, like the month before the pandemic started?
Yep. It was,
So- We've been playing all that time too.
Yeah.
it's crazy to think. COVID feels like it's been so long, and somehow this campaign is longer.
Yeah, we started
Yeah.
2019.
I have no perception of time anymore. Oh my god, that's. But
It's
yeah,
been good, and we're on the other side. We're closer to 100 than we are not.
those last few digits gonna drive me fucking
Technically,
crazy though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Introduce me for a 100 session. Elijah,
What?
we need you to go full cosplay.
I can do
The
that.
fuck, you want to wear a robe?
Yeah.
I don't have a. Do I have a robe? I have a towel. I have a
To be
bench.
fair, I have to go full plate armor, or half plate. So, count yourself lucky.
Wear like a rubber Nixon mask of Matthew Mercer.
Oh god.
God.
Can I buy that somewhere? That's gotta be a thing somewhere.
Oh my lord.
It's the piece of merchandise. The Matthew Mercer's least piece of merchandise. No,
Oh, there's like a normal face mask.
Did we stop streaming?
No, we haven't yet. All right, guys. I don't have more shit to tell you. Go to the YouTube. Do some. I don't know. If you like D&D, watch. What the fuck? Bye.
No, but